Freaky Table is brought to you by Nikki Hits Beauty Studio, Bonamusadi, Douala, and Jungle Hall, Boya.
Hello everybody and welcome to Freaky Table. My name is Joan Gumba. I have the usual culprits in the house, Yana and Kwa. But joining us on set today, we have somebody all the way from Oyinbo, from the US, and he's here. His name is Claudio Oben. It's Claudio Oben. Claudio, he's going to clear that up for us. So anyway, it's Claudio Oben. Mr. Oben is here. And we are going to be discussing something very, very pertinent in today's business, especially in entertainment. What are some of the challenges that our brothers over there have when they create businesses here? How do they run those businesses? How they manage them? Do they want to close them down after some time? And all of that. So we have all the guys here and just me as the lady to discuss that. Claudio, welcome on set.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
And by the way, this is a new set, so you're disvirgining the set.
Jesus.
That's hard on the side. That's the welcome, right?
Freaky Table. Freaky Table.
It is what it is. I like it. It's beautiful.
Give me water.
No, but it's good. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invite to all of you.
You're welcome.
Distinguished gentlemen. I like such a voice.
I think when they heard that you were coming, I actually wanted to ask them that they know, because I mean, they look really.
It's a thing when you.
It's so good.
When you cross Bishop Rogan and you pass Toletsi.
Yeah, that Bishop Rogan. I think
when you get to that.
Yeah, your fashion changes.
It's different. It's quite different.
So I think you just shaded the whole school, but it's fine.
I didn't shade. It's just It's just different.
It's good to have you on set too.
It's good to be here. I've watched pretty much every episode. That's the last one.
Very true. That's very true.
So you guys are doing a magnificent job.
Thank you. We'll take the compliment. Take the compliment.
I'm just being honest.
Oh, we love the honesty. Elongish, it's good to have you, Yana. It's good to have you on set.
I never answered. Yes, ma'am.
She never answered to me.
So it's good. I mean, you're here in Cameroon. I know, you guys just come, go. But some of the things that you guys leave behind are businesses. Sometimes maybe family, but businesses. And you're one of those people who have businesses here. And so it was really good to have you on set to discuss on this. So many things have been happening in the entertainment industry. It is no lie that most of the entertainers depend on people who are abroad for their talents to run that fast, especially making money and all of that. Do you buy into that, or is there any comment on?
I wouldn't agree completely to it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when the diaspora ran a lot of things, but that narrative is changing now. I mean, saving Bango, we can start from there, right? Cindy Amade is there. She doesn't live in the diaspora. She lives here. She's always over there, but you can tell that there are people who are changing that narrative.
Brenda along.
Thank you, right? She was on the set here. She's doing all these big things. I mean, she's a Netflix face now, right? The godmother. So there was a time when that could be the narrative. I wouldn't say that is right now. Yes, a good few of them or us who live over there, we try to do the best we can. But it's just a little fraction of the continent is blessed. Let's start with that. The country is blessed. We just need to embrace it the way some people, some of us from that we see it. So it takes time.
But let's look at the statistics, right? Say Stephen's music, Diaspora owned. You take the one it is Blue Nation. Can Quintus is also.
Can't Quintus film as well. He's everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but yeah, oh my, he's in between, right?
But yeah, I get the point.
Yeah, so you I mean, even Freaky Table has a lot of support from the diaspora. So it's Nikki Hit and Nikki Hit itself, diaspora. So you see a lot of, I think Banganjang is doing something to Yes, and all of that. So you see a lot of the brands that stand out, a lot of the work that stands out being funded primarily by Cameroonians in the diaspora. So
Well, now to add to that, right? Capital drives a lot of things. We have the talent, capital. A lot of people don't have that capital to be able to take a risk and go, well, if I lose, I learn. It's let's try to win. So the fact that some people out there have the opportunity to be able to go, well, I can spend $10,000 to do ABC, that's now that narrative can be acceptable, right? But hey, we do the best we can, honestly, because at the end of the day, I mean, I can speak for myself only, right? I've been out a while, a long time, and you go out there, you find opportunity. Now, when you network with people, you realize, well, you can only do so much here. I mean, taxes kill us over there. It's crazy. You work, it's like you're working for Uncle Sam. I'm not saying there's no taxes here, but it's not as ridiculous as we have it over there. And what better way to, if you want to invest for your future, bring it back home. And that's what a lot of us are doing. Quintus did that. I mean, he's pretty much here most of the year. I wasn't coming as often. Now I'm here very often. And a good number of my other friends who are beginning to do that. So when you go out there, you get exposed and you go, just bring it back home. Mm-hmm. There's no place like home.
What part does culture integration influence a lot of Cameroonians in the diaspora want to invest back home? Because I imagine that when you travel, the more you travel, the more you borrow from different cultures and the more you bring it back home. Because you see the work that stands out, there are people who are well-traveled, and if you're well-informed, you're able to create content that fits the context of where you are. Do you think that that's another thing that pushes it, because they are able to see from the outside that, oh, this is what is missing, and then they'll say, okay, no, this is where I can fit into the system.
So culture makes you think in third person, because now you were here, you've been out there you get exposed. Now you can start looking at it from the outside in. We've been witnessing it from every point, right? And you go, you can do checks and balances to go, okay, well, if I do this, when can I get my return on investment off of this in this amount of time? What's the capital I need to start a business, right? It's something I'm dealing with right now. Trust me, there's no way some of the things we do here, you'll be able to do over there with that kind of capital. And again, let's think about it, Black Panther. If the revolution started, everybody's coming back to the continent. Everybody is tracing, well, I'm have this, I'm have that, I'm have this. It's coming right back to Africa because...
Oprah is Buffalo.
Oh, Lord. She is. We need to Oprah, if you're watching this, this is a female Cameroon opera. So maybe we can have you someday on a chair somewhere. And come home. Let's start this thing.
Most of the complaints that we have from, especially when it comes to music. I mean, you've been a rapper, now you're producing. You're producing film, you're directing movies, you're opening businesses outside music and film. Mm-hmm. Some of the complaints that we have, there's this here in Cameroon, artists will say, oh, the investors or the owners of record labels, film production houses do not really understand what happens here. So they don't understand if we want to take decision or to make our sound this way or to tell this kind of stories. Because they are the ones pumping in money, they want you to do what they think America would like or UK would like. These are some of the complaints that we have from here. Over there, you guys will also say, we want to take things globally. We don't want to limit to Cameroon. I understand that there is a story in Cameroon, but how do we move that story as just being Cameroonian to an international or universal story? So these issues that go in between there and here, how does that affect you who invest?
So entertainment is global. That's one, right? A good picture, a good sound, it spans across. Let's start with that, right?
It's not national.
It's international. It speaks. So like now, with that said, we go, you who the artist, have you found yourself? What's your audience? Now your audience is international because if you're singing to kids is international. If you're singing to the adults or the elderly people, it's international. It's not just based
Cameroon or African, right?
Digital media right now.
Thank you.
Makes everything.
It makes it easy. Now, the only part now is when the politics comes in now. You know, they say the showbiz is when you get to the business part, you guys start dealing with the politics. And now that's where people start blowing powder. Unfortunately, they'll just call Baba, say, I bet tell that turn and me start to push up. Those things we don't want, because again, if somebody is putting $10,000 in a project, I expect somehow, what are the big channels, Trace, Canal, with a few streams here and there, they should be able to, break even maybe in the first couple of weeks or so, right? But now, if that color of the song or the trailer of the film or whatever it is was not up to par, well, just because we are trying to do something that it's Cameroonian, then me, the executive producer, I have a problem with you, the producer. I'm going, well, that's not what we bargained for, right? I could easily sue you.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's go. It's contracts. It's a business, so it's a fine line. It's a gray area to operate in, especially when we are in that place. But
the reason why I'm asking this question is because we've had so many record labels lose their artists or artists leave the record labels, and there's always this bad blood between the owner of the record label and the artist.
Fine print. They didn't read the fine print.
Okay.
They didn't.
That's the artist.
Both. Because it starts with this, right? So let's say Zilmatic Music. I say I want to sign Elonge for Fag, right? And I go...
Elonge might give you a Grammy.
He might, because I saw him in a week, last week on...
If you're working on that episode...
Not with his voice, please.
No, but if I say I sign Elonge, right? And I say, okay, he's going to give me three albums in the span of XYZ amount of time, right? Okay, so your likeness is... your pictures, okay, these photo ops, you need to be able to do 1 or 2 events every time, now and then. Well, they're just some nonsense you don't do. You don't just post this, we need to validate every post and all of that stuff. It's in the fine print. Yes, the truth is you own your social media, but as soon as you ink that thing, I own you. Now, when these artists start doing things like that, I'm losing money because I'm investing in you.
That's true.
And then when the artist or the label, when the label or the executive start taking disciplinary actions against you, they will say it's bad blood and that. No, just be professional. This is you're not my brother, you're not my friend. This is a business contract. I'm putting money on you for you to be able to do what you got to do, but again, you got to put the money back in my pocket. Now it's just contracts, and if you don't follow it, there's consequences to it. Over there, it's lawsuits. It's easy. I mean, look at Black Widow. What happened with Scarlett Johansson and them? It's the fine print. Disney had to go revise everything all over again, right? They came to a settlement. Same thing, film, music, read the fine print.
It's always an issue where you have a contract handed to somebody, and then maybe they don't tie the loose ends, and then you find them just messing up the record label, or the record label messing them up. So, but you look at this, you feel there's a gap for lawyers to get in the game and really try to give it the face it deserves in terms of legal issues and all of that what you've just said.
I agree. Everybody has a place. You need the lawyers, you need the teachers, everybody has a place, really. You need the accountants to put your finances in check. Because I know there was a thing once on set you guys talked about artists being marketable, right? Again, if they said all you have was 5 million a year to be able to make bread out of it, how do you manage that fund? Get an accountant to be able to put your finances in place. Okay, this goes to this goes to that. So we need everybody at the end of the day.
But most of the guys who are in the diaspora, they always feel like if I put $1 today, I need to get $2 tomorrow. That fast, which is something that the artists or the entertainers here, the local entertainers, would be like, no, not be so it work. Like it could take some time. It could take some time.
I think she asked it before, and she's re-emphasizing it. Is that there seems to be a clash in the perception of how entertainment business, at least the perception of those in the diaspora and those here. And it's a perception that runs through not only entertainment, but even the fields of politics. So you would see diaspora sponsoring maybe forms of activism here, and people say no, but we are here on the ground. We know exactly what we want. We perhaps we might need your finances and your support, but not necessarily your methods.
Yes.
So how do you marry that?
First of all, right, there's a way that things are done over there. If you are not here often, you don't understand how things are done. It's Africa, it's Cameroon. We know how it works. I mean, a lot of things was foreign to me when I came back after a while.
Like Ghana.
I mean, like, I'm just too much sauce.
It was foreign. But the truth is now I'm understanding. If you don't, and again, it's the intentions in it. Some people are in it for the fame. Some people are in it for just a quick buck here and there, and they feel like they'll make it easier over here. But if your intentions behind it is good, if you make a good picture, yes, you intend to sell it, but you should understand this thing is a 50-50. You can easily make money or you lose money. It's a business. Nothing is guaranteed. It's a risk to start with. And people who take away the risk factor from investment, they lose. And that's when what you were saying comes in. They want to make... We've been doing film for a minute. Like, you and I, we've been... This is like 2009-10. See how long it's taken. We could have stopped at any point in time. Yeah. He could have, I could have, but we kept going. It's practice. That's cool for you. Because you're in it for the right reasons. And then thereafter, now you start reaping the fruit. But some people just want to come in and then that quick film, if you say red carpet, I say, I'm done, I'm not done. Are they okay?
The question is, do investors themselves have to put in a certain level of patience in whatever they're doing? Because that's always the issue. The quick return on investment and all of that.
Yeah, you should. But again, you have to do your homework, right? You have to go back and look at businesses that have survived or that have succeeded in that line that you're trying to run. Okay, you can look at Steven's music and go, well, how long did it take Steven's music to become known, a household name? Yeah. How long did it take Freaky Table to become a household name? Now, if somebody wants to do something in that line, you do that math, you give yourself that window of opportunity, and then if you do the right things, hopefully you should start seeing profit. But if you don't, then you got to change it. You got there's a line I say: if you want to get something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. Literally, you got to change your tactics. It's quite simple.
But there's this other thing about, they say you guys abroad always put your money into just two departments in the entertainment business, which is the music and the film. You guys forget about all the other things like TV shows.
I think they also invest in girls.
In news.
They invest heavily on nothing Kanda.
Home base Kanda. You understand?
So it's just majorly film and...
Can't show me dollar.
December.
They show me dollar.
December period.
Can that be here December?
So back to the question, film and music. Yeah, film and music. So you guys, like things that have been, other departments in the entertainment business that have been abandoned, like fashion, like TV shows and stuff like that. So why just film and music? Can you guys just invest in other things?
That's them, not me. Yeah. It's different. Business is business. Sometimes you got to take a risk, right? Some people think, and keep me honest, I'm not quoting anything. It's just off of conversations. They feel like film and music is the quicker way around things. Because that's what a lot of people, that's what they know. That's what they see. But there's a thing that they say, all money does not speak. Real estate is money. Yeah. There's money in fashion. Yeah. There's a reason why people wear Dior and Gucci. Yeah. It's fashion. There's a reason why people sit and watch the Ellen show. Yeah. That's media this way, not film. I mean, to start with, you need to eat. That's business. You need a place to sleep. That's business. If you want to have fun, you want to go somewhere and go sit and have fun. That's business. but you always hear film and so you just have to be able to venture into other arenas.
I just want to explain something. So you said old money does not speak. Yeah, now it means a chief will get money. It didn't make noise. The papi on their own. She get money. They make noise. The papi on their own.
I'm not as dumb as you are, but anyway, thanks for explaining that.
But oh my God. Anyway, so we should not lose sight of the fact that you are an actor, a film director,
That's right, yeah.
a film producer. So we'll get to your film, Define the Sea. That was you came back home to premiere, which was really good, and you touched like some really dark aspects of life, like the mental health, psychological issues, and stuff. The stories that you put in your films, is it coming from there or here? Like, how do you relate there and here through film?
So, a lifetime ago, I was in healthcare. 10 years. I gave it 10 years of my life. So, I got exposed to things that, in my wildest imagination, I wouldn't think. And realize, when you think about things that we deal with here, or what I dealt with before I left, and the things I talk about my friends, this is real life things. Somebody has a mental disease and they will talk to them and wish.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
don't
quite
spoil
simple. You understand now?
They're spoiling.
There is something about the mind. As you keep your body together, you got to keep the mind together. The mind is a playground of the most horrendous things, if not English, that's a word. Because what the sun, I don't mind, is the devil's workshop, right? Now think about it. So imagine now you have voices talking to you in your head. It's crazy. People commit suicide for the most basic things out here. I mean, let me use the most recent thing that's happening, right, with the Nigerian celebrity Tiwa. If Tiwa is not or was not mentally strong, she could possibly do something stupid to herself. Girls out here deal with that every day.
I go lick my own smoker.
But there's a thing about the mind. So with that, it drives a lot of my film. The first film I did was Captive, some mental disorders. This one too, Define the Sit, the last one. I just feel like there are stories that need to be told.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I would say it. If people are afraid to say it, I would say it. If they're afraid of HIVs and whatever to tell the stories, or rapes and all of that stuff, or people being molested by their parents, there is taboos. People don't say in the family. Well, come and find me, I'll say it. Because it's things people deal with.
I have this worry, particularly with which I think is part of the cultural clash, to at least perception, between the diaspora and those of us here at home. Well, I'm not sure I'll be home long, but but it's really with exactly the themes that are handled in storytelling, particularly the ones whom the diaspora feel like funding. So if you go to in the world of film, it's usually trauma trafficking. So films that have to do with poverty, with rape, with just that themes, and I feel, this is my personal opinion, that I feel that the diaspora has helped in projecting this Africa in poor taste when it comes to the narrative that the West. So maybe the West wants to see this about Africa, and in producing or financing only projects that depict Africa as poor, as suffering, as sick, we are reinforcing that narrative. Why don't we see more drive towards productions that show glamour, that shows different shades of success and intrigue in the African story from the diaspora?
Fair point made. I'll take that to my crew. We'll talk about it. But coming back to it, right? A lot of things we see over there is glamour. Let's start with it. CGIs, all the things. They don't do as much of a good job sometimes to depict the African culture. So a lot of times the intent is good. Because let's show you Africa. You tried to do it that way, it didn't work. You shot that in Haiti, or you did it in green screen. Let's show you what it feels like for a cock to crow in the morning.
Okay, so imagine this. Joan is a TV host, right? And she's a TV host who has to face issues of male bullying, online bullying, and all. Is that not an African story that can be told? Is it not? Is it not? Why is it not an African?
It's global.
Yeah, it's global. But that's the point. That why do we think that if we are talking about universalizing African experiences, why should African experiences be dumped down to just images of cock crowing and mental health
And flies on kids' noses.
So it's again,
cancer?
it also comes down to what the story the producer is trying to tell. It also comes down to the know-how of who is telling the story. So I'll use myself as a classic example, right? Yes, I brought Define the Seed back to shoot part of it here. But if you look at it, most of those things are driven not from here, right? It's over there. Like in necrophilic, we hear that a lot. It happens out here, but it's a common thing a lot over that way, right? So
Focus.
No, you have to explain.
Can you focus?
Okay, explain it for us.
For viewers,
no, necrophilia, people who feel like they have sexual arousement from the dead.
So it's not. No, it's not. But they say in bed is like a corpse. It's just a stone, work of ages.
You know, it's your life now, so you know better.
But I think along the back to your point, it's something. Yes, you're completely right. I can take that for the team. We need to expand it a little bit more. Sometimes it's just with the inability for again with our film industry, there's some limitations to how far we can push the envelope. So with that much, we accept it and then we try to play there. We'll get to a place where we can show you this place in 4D. It's coming.
Or is it possible you're not doing glam because we are too fat? Like actors.
Look at Precious, right?
Yeah.
Precious was not a. You just. But she was Oscars, exactly. It is. I think it all depends with the producers, the houses, and the times too.
Because
Do I know this cinema you do glam?
I mean,
This is no chef Branson now.
It's coming. It's coming.
oh my God.
It's coming. If you guys see, this is funny. Let me tell you something. When I got here a week ago, Quintus and I were talking and we're going back to Facebook things, and we stumbled over some pictures of one of the first films we did together. I kid you guys not. We're going at it with each other. And I just looked at those pictures and I busted out laughing. Because now at that point, I don't know who was playing Shebandi or which one. But the intensity in the looks on our faces, this is like 11 years ago. Like, Lord.
Life don't say.
Ah, Lord Jesus. It's crazy. You know? And it's funny, I was looking at that, and 2 days ago I was on his set. I went to visit the set, and I looked at him, and it was just some joy and pride.
Yes.
And that I'm seeing this man morph into this mega house of, the man that longer blushes on set all the time when they call him Fisherman's Diary. Q, whatever you don't do, my brother, I beg, you need to come on this set. I made my heart cool.
So before we shut down this discussion, I mean, right now Cameroon is being flooded with a whole lot of Nollywood stars. We call it like Niger invasion of the CFI.
I like it.
So, what's your take on it? Is it blessing, curse?
I like it.
We don't care. Like, what's your
I
take?
like it. Mm-hmm. When was the last time we had this much of them here? Mm-hmm. It's about time, right? It's about time. I like it. Now like this, I said this before, and Nollywood, I love y'all. I said this before. As soon as we take off running, they're going to have a run for their money. Mm-hmm. I'm the Billy Bobs. I mean, we have producers out here who are seasoned. Mm-hmm. We just needed, and we have business people out here who are willing to take the risk. Mm-hmm. Some people just needed to be able to know that, okay, is there a place that we can make this money from? The Netflix deals, at least the good ones, or what we have so far, right, has shown these business people that, you know what, if you put your money in here, you will get something back from it. Now, I think there are 5 productions running at this moment right now. Yes.
I've never had that in
Literally, right now, there are 5 productions running. With faces, yes. They are shooting in Tico now with Cameroon is there. Frank Sai is shooting. Yeah, and Cindy just got done shooting with IK and Candy Lawrence is shooting in Yaoundé too. And Neba Lawrence just got done shooting. I'm just saying, we coming. I like it. We've sang the songs of let's get funding. We don't want again. The diaspora will take care of it. You guys talk about diaspora, it's fine, we'll do that. We just need that signature. With that, go, okay, yes, here you go. Go out to the war, but at least you have us as your comfort, your safe zone. That's pretty much it. You know, to me, that does not involve a lot of politics, but it's quite simple.
All right. So Claudio, before you go, I know you have a couple of businesses and stuff that you're to do. Do you want to spill the beans, or should we wait and watch your social media pages?
Yes, that part. But there's Zilmatic Pictures. There's Zilmatic Rentals. So we now branched out a little bit. We're doing equipment rentals for films and all that stuff. So it's being managed by a great friend of mine. Director extraordinaire, Muslim Derek, my man. Zilmatic Properties, branched into real estate a little bit too, so we're trying to do a little bit of guest homes, you know, just the best we can. And more to come soon. While I'm here, actually, I'm trying to set up Woodsy. Okay. But the Freaky Table, we'll talk about it, possibly at some point. I would have Freaky Table at the lunch, whatever it is, we'll lunch. But again, not just film and music, and no, not just that. Trying to expand a little bit because... And
giving people jobs.
Yes.
So that's the most important part.
Yes. That way I can retire early. I don't tire for work for that side.
Yeah.
Who wants to start work?
All right, thank you so much, Claudio, for dropping by and giving us all this knowledge on business, diaspora, the relationships, film, a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for dropping by.
No, this was amazing. Thank you for having me. At least the questions were vetted by my team.
Oh, did I have somebody saying this at the back or don't answer?
I had to, my peripheral vision was looking that way. But this was great. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. It was fun. And obviously, you know, the Sobas we had to represent. When I noticed it's all cross for the whole time.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Yana Kwo, thank you so much for always being here. Claudio.
Yes, ma'am.
And please watch his space. There's so much coming up and announcements going to be made. But meanwhile, enjoy our movies and the businesses that the diasporas are doing. And if you do not understand, if you sign contracts and you don't understand, please contact lawyer. Let them help you with every line that is on that contract. But please read and understand. That's what they taught us from, primary school. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Decoded TV Studios, as well as follow us on all social media platforms at Freaky Table. It's Yana, Kwo, Claudio, and myself, Joan. It's a goodbye and see you soon.
Freaky Table is brought to you by Nikki Hits Beauty Studio, Bona Musadi, Douala, and Jungle Hall, Boya.
Contact Jungle Studios, which is located at Solidarity Junction, Boya, for all your photography and videography.
Thanks for watching the dopest TV show right now.
And don't forget to subscribe so that you can continue seeing our beautiful faces. Scratch that, my handsome face.
Alright guys, and to never miss a thing, follow us on all social media platforms at Freaky Table, Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, stay tuned.